Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in the lecture of class 9th, I will again come with your Euclid geometry. Maximum teachers does not want to give maximum time to this chapter, but for me each chapter is important. So I am again with you in the second lecture of Euclid geometry. In this chapter I will teach you the postulate of Euclid geometry. Postulates. Postulates of Euclid geometry. Euclid's geometry. In the previous lecture, I have explained about the axioms. Okay, axiom are that statement which we can take in without doing the proof. And these are postulates. What are postulates? Postulates are the axiom but in a particular field. These are also the statement which we have taken directly without doing the proof, but these are based on a particular field. Okay, now come to the first postulate of Euclid division and Euclid's geometry. First postulate is a straight line. A straight line. The first postulate is a straight line may be drawn from any one point to another point, to the another point. Postulates tell us, let us suppose we have 2 points P and Q. On P there is so many lines, single points, there are so many lines. But here also Q has so many lines at Q. We have so many lines we can draw. But if I want to draw a line that is only passing through these 2 points, these are the rays. A point has so many rays, but if I want to draw a line, we need 2 points. From P, let us suppose P and Q are 2 distinct points, and this is the line. This is not the ray. This is line PQ. Okay, so this is the first postulate. Second, a terminating line. Second is terminating line. Terminating line can be drawn, can be produced. We can say as produced. We can produce. A terminating line can be produced indefinitely. Indefinitely. What is the meaning of this statement? Indefinitely means, let us suppose we have 2 lines A and B. We have one line with the 2 points A and B. We can indefinitely produce these lines like this. Okay. So these are the 2 postulates. We can easily draw these 2 lines indefinitely this time. So these are the 2 postulates. Come to the third postulate. What is that third postulate? A circle. Third postulate is based on circle. Okay. The third postulate is a circle can be drawn with any center or any radius. Can be drawn. Yes, you all know. A circle, this is the third postulate. A circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Yes, we need two things to make a circle. First is center and the second one is radius. So in this way we can draw a circle. Okay, this is the way to draw a circle. We need one center and one radius. and we need this radius to open a compass. To put the compass, the needle of that compass here, we can draw the circle, any type of circle. This is the postulate third. Now come to the fourth postulate. Fourth postulate is all right angles are equals to one another. That are equals to one another. Let us suppose we have one right angle triangle like this. Second one is like this. Third one is like this. So these are the different type of right angle triangles. These all are equal according to Euclid postulate. He says that all obey Pythagoras theorem. Okay, all have 90-degree angle, same shape. That means the postulate says that all right angles are all right triangles, not angles. They right triangles. These are right triangles, right angles. Right angles. All right angles are equals to one another. That is angles. These are the right triangles, but these are the angles. If we draw a right angle like this is equal. All right angles are equals to one another. We have to compare. Okay, all right angle are of 90-degree. That means all are equal. So this is the postulate which is given by the Euclid. All right angles are equals to one another. Okay, in these triangles, all the triangles are similar because all the triangles are similar, or you can say that if the sides are equal, they are congruent. But the right angles are all equal in this triangle. You can also say that if you don't want to make this, let us suppose we have this right angle here. This is a right angle, and if I draw a right angle here by using this compass and this is again same, these two are equal, so all the right angles are equal. Now come to the fifth postulate, that is very important. On that fifth postulates, many mathematicians do their work and give different equivalent version of that postulate. Okay, come to that fifth postulate that are very easy. Postulate says that fifth postulate, there are so many versions after their fifth postulate. So many versions are there using different mathematicians. So there are, first is the postulate which is given by Euclid. He says that if a straight line falling on fifth postulate, if a straight line falling on two straight lines, make the interior angles on the same side, same side of it, taken together. If we take together both angles together, taken together, less than two right angles, then the straight lines, then two straight lines, there are two straight lines, if produced indefinitely meet at that side on which the angles are less than are less than 2 right angles. Less than 2 right angles. The statement is so lengthy. So, if you understand it by using a mathematical derivation, it becomes very easy for all of you. If a straight line falling on 2 straight lines, so we have 2 straight lines like this one is, and the second one is this. If a line falling on it, and the interior angles on the same side, this is the same side, the interior angle taken together is less than 90. Yes, this angle 1 and angle 2 both are less than 90. This is a different angle, both are less than 90. Then if we want to produce these two lines, they meet at that side where their sum is less than 180. यानी कि angle 1 plus angle 2 if less than 180 degree, then this is angle, this is the sign of less than. If it is less than 180 degree, the both lines meet only on that side. So this is the fifth postulate. Now come to the basic concepts related to the Euclid geometry. What are their basic concepts? First of all, what is a statement? Statement, that is very easy. A sentence which is either positive or negative, or false. We can say that false or true. Okay, we can say that is false or true. That is only known as the statement. Okay, come to the what is statement. Statement. What is statement in mathematics? A sentence that is either true or false, but not both, that is called a statement. Okay, that is called a statement. For example, we have 5 plus 9, that is equals to 14. Okay, this is right or wrong? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is true. If I will write 16 here, 14 in place of 14, if I will write 16 here, it will not equals to the, we have false. Only these two are statements. But if this is the second example, now come to the third example. Shikhar is tall. Shikhar is tall. This is not a statement because Shikhar is taller than some specific persons but not taller than all. Shikhar is taller than some specific person but not taller than all of the persons which are present in the world. That means it is not true or not false, not a statement. Not a statement. So this is the statement. Now come to the theorem. What is theorem? What is known as theorem? Theorem is a statement. Theorem is a statement. A statement in which requires a proof. That requires a proof is called a theorem. This is the meaning of theorem, that requires a proof. Okay, corollary. What is the corollary? What is known? Many times the student does not know what is corollary. The result deduced from the theorem is called a corollary. So these are the basic concepts related to maths also. Now come to the simple things which related to simple basics definition which related to these Euclid. First is what is line, plane and point. Point, line and plane. What are the definition of point, line and plane? You all know what is point, what is plane, what is, you all know. There are different definitions. You can do that definitions, but according to the simple language, we have some definition. First is point. A point is that. A point is that. A point is that which has no part. Has no part. This is a very simple language, very simple definition of a point. Which have no parts means no length, no breadth and no height. So this is a point is that which has no part. It is represented by a dot. It is represented by a dot. Okay, like this. If there is a space, this A, this is a dot A, this is a point A. Okay, it is a denoted by point. After that we have a line. What is line? What is the definition of line? When we fold a paper, when we fold a paper like this, we fold a paper, the crease which we get, the crease that which we get, this is the line. Okay, when we fold a paper, the crease we get is called a line. So this is the line. Very simple definition. When we fold a paper, I will write only that line. When we fold a paper, when we fold a paper, the crease in the paper, the crease in the paper represent a line. Okay, so this is a line like this. We have already tell you okay, what is the line. We need one initial point, one final point. Okay, come to the last definition, plane. Plane, what is plane? It is a flat surface. It is a flat surface. Flat surface. Surface which extend indefinitely. Which extends definitely in all directions. Okay, indefinitely in all direction means here, this, indefinitely in all direction we can extend. This is the plane. It is a flat surface. This is a flat surface. Indefinitely extend in all direction. So these are the basic concepts and these are the basic things you should know about the Euclid. Learn these things. Thank you.